Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, November 18th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Remind everybody we have a reverse aging health call Friday, tomorrow, at 9 p.m. Eastern. There are no accidents or coincidences in this world. Nothing, absolutely nothing is by chance. It is all a reflection, indication, expression, manifestation of our body-mind's vibration. Our vibration is determined by the thoughts and feelings we choose to experience, which are also being sent out into the universe. Our body and mind is like a massive radio tower that emits a personal signature energy, which is constantly being received by the universe. Positive feelings, thoughts create easy, healing, and satisfying experiences, while negative thoughts, feelings attract situations that leave us with a dark, lonely, and impoverished experience. For today, hold your attention on the most powerful vibration there is, love. Start by tuning your radio tower so it's working at 100% at practicing self-love. Love yourself no matter what happens today. This commitment releases all negative possible accidents from entering your vibrational field. You'll win every battle with pain, poverty, and suffering. Imagine what it will be like to be self-loving and self-accepting for the next 24 hours. Whatever the conscious mind thinks and believes, the subconscious mind identically creates. Brian Adams. So we create in our conscious mind, and it's duplicated in our subconscious mind, the library. Doesn't matter what it is. It's stored there. And then it programs, it sends it back to us, and then it influences us on our direction. And there is a way that we can live our lives that is so conscious, so purely intentional and alive, that we are guaranteed to move energy into form, create it into reality, manifest the life we desire. Isn't that why we're here? I mean, we're here to enjoy this life. And along the way we experience, and we create everything that we experience. What would we be doing if we weren't creating? We would not be. We would not be. So we're looking, all of us, in some version that we look at, we're looking at a dream life where we can, that we say we want, this is the life I want, but I don't, then people say they don't think they'll ever get that life. They'll never have that life. And that's lack of trust and confidence in oneself through the heart-mind, and lack of trust in the universe. There's no way, it is not, since we are the creation, that we aren't creating everything for ourselves and everyone around us. So when you create your life, the life that you desire, the life that you want to experience, the only reason you don't is because of one thing: trust in yourself. Trust that you have that power and ability. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be, I'd like to live by the ocean, or I'd like to live in the sky. But you would then say, the ego mind would come in and say, that's silly, you're not going to be able to do that. How would you do that anyway? And then that creation that you just sent to the universe is canceled. And we have such diversity on this planet. It depends, how these bodies are raised and influenced, like I said before, and how we operate and how we view things, how we have a certain perspective. And that's formed, by our character and our personalities. Those are formed. When you look at a baby, I think we've all done this at least once, where you see a newborn baby, let's say maybe 6 months, and you look in their eyes and you see this light in the eyes. You see it. It's a very, very bright white light. And then a lot of people say, well, it's probably the reflection of the lights in the room or something. No, it's not. You're seeing the soul, untainted body with that baby. Now, what happens when all of the information, all of the exterior, the parents, maybe some brothers and sisters, cousins, or whatever, other people, and the talking and so on and so forth. We become babies when we're around babies. Isn't that interesting? We talk like babies when we're around babies. And that shows us that we still have the child within us. I think a lot of the times we lose sight of ourselves, so we believe that we should be, I'm this many years old. Why? That's childish. You see how crazy those statements? That's childish. Why are you doing such a childish thing? Because I'm enjoying my life. I really don't care what others and how others view me at all. Should you be concerned about how others view you? That's all entertainment for the ego mind. That's how we've all been guided on what others think of us, isn't it? How they feel about you. You said you probably caught yourself doing that. I hope everybody likes the way I look, or I hope I'm dressed appropriately. I wonder what they're going to think of me. And that's on our minds. It's really interesting that we're guided by the ego so much that we believe, that's important for others to, what is it called? Like us. And others are like us. So we're constantly worrying why they want to make sure that others like us. Now here's an interesting thing. Most people like you when your vibrational frequency is naturally high. The only thing on this planet that's going to change, you can talk to the planet, that's going to change things, is your vibrational frequency. Genuine, not forced, but a genuine vibrational frequency. And the only ones that can change that is you. Vibration is everything. When you get angry, that's a vibration, that's a frequency. And anger, what? Pushes others away. Also irritates them. They get angry too, certain ways. And what is anger? Why do we get angry? Love under pressure is the best way to put it. Anger is love under pressure. So we're angry at ourselves, then we are angry at others. You've ever been around a pessimist, cynic, where everything is, they always have a counterpunch to anything positive. And it is because of the fact that they don't like themselves. That's it right there. They don't know how to love themselves. So vibrational frequency is absolutely paramount on this planet because it increases the energy field, expands when your vibrational frequency is much higher. And that's being in deep gratitude 24/7. That's, moving into in love. And I haven't met anybody yet that can stay in love more than maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Because we are so busy entertaining the ego mind. How do you maintain a positive vibrational frequency? Now, none of us at this stage do it 24/7. You know, we have instances and interruptions and things that take place that catch us off guard that we create for ourselves to do that, to catch us off guard. So when you begin to understand yourself, doesn't it make sense to practice immediately, as soon as you get up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, just as you start stirring, is to get in the habit of this just one affirmation, this one mantra. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this day. And this has nothing to do with religion. This isn't religion, this is spirituality. This is knowing and being grateful and thankful for who and what you are. To be in that body, to experience life, this life, and take nothing, absolutely nothing for granted. Something that you could do, that we could all do, we choose to, is get out, you take your journal out on a blank page, you just write down all the things you take for granted. Everything that you take for granted. And be honest, it's not like, oh, you're going to be punished, or that's a bad thing to have that many things you take for granted. How are you going to know if you don't write it to yourself? And what you do is you put everything that you take for granted in your whole life, everything now, present, what you've been taking, what you do take for granted. And then over on the right side, everything that you're grateful for. And you could post this, put it on your wall by your bedstand, put on a refrigerator door, copy them, put them everywhere. I guarantee you that you will eventually get into the habit of being in deep gratitude 24/7. And we have, there's times where we draw attention to ourselves, with ourselves. Because we all of us get so tied up in so many things that are happening. And we do the best we can. But so many things that are happening on this planet at this time. That to stay in gratitude is the omnipotent power that we wield. To stay in gratitude, everything else falls into place. Deep gratitude for the universe, that the universe listens to every single thing that you request. Creates it. And we have a laugh with ourselves and say, I must have negated that. I must have, what did I do? And this is being gentle, kind, and generous with yourself at all times. And you ask yourself, what did I do? How come that didn't, why didn't that manifest? And you say, well, the only reason would be is that I attached something to it, or I had expectations for it. They might have been even subtle, but that's what stopped it from coming to me. And you begin to understand yourself much more as you do this. How many of us know ourselves? Truly. We say we can. Oh, I know myself. And so I think a lot of us do to a certain extent. But how many of us like ourselves? The only reason you don't like yourself is because there's things that you haven't tended to, that's all. It's no different than you're looking out at the patch of grass in your front yard, if you have a front yard. And you notice it keeps growing. Oh, I'll do that later. But you kind of feel maybe I should do it. I'll let it wait. And then the grass keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And because you didn't tend to it, it gets so thick and high, it takes you 3 times as long to mow it. And then to clean all the clippings up and everything else. Now, had you just said, it needs to be done, I'll do it. And you feel better about that. But then look what happens when you say, no, I'm not going to do it now. Now look at it and you go, geez, I should have cut it. How many times you caught yourself saying something about that? I should have done this. I thought about it, and I don't know why I didn't do it when I could have done it. And now look what I've created. We don't say what I've created. We said, now look what I'm faced with. And when we start to understand how wonderful and supreme and fantastic and magnaglorious that the gods within these bodies are, then the body is important. And the body likes to be loved. So we create just everything. It's so amazing when you just sit and be and in the now, and you're focused on your breath, and you realize that it's everything. Everything. Every small particle. You're moving this energy. The universe is answering your request, and you're receiving abundance 24/7. The thing is that if you don't know yourself, you block most of it. Why do you think so many people struggle on this planet? It's because they block their abundance. They are abundance. You are abundance. Every single one of us are. But we do it, and I don't believe we do it intentionally. There's no way we would do that. We do it, we aren't aware we do it, because we don't believe that we can do it. See what I mean? We don't believe that we can do it. Little old me, I'm not that. I'm not powerful. You see, I'm not powerful. But you are. You're the opposite of what you honestly think you are. That's the ego mind, not the heart mind. See, and you know what? You'll know when you're in the heart mind. All you got to do, take your hands, hover them over the solar plexus area of your body, and then feel from where you're feeling from. Feel from where you're feeling from, which means, is it in the head? You'll know it. You'll have that feeling. Or is it in the heart? Am I coming from my heart or am I coming from my head? And the head means ego mind. And the heart means heart mind. So am I coming from the God that I am within this body, or am I coming from the ego mind illusions that come with this body? See, I think we think when we enter these bodies that the body doesn't have a mind of its own, but it does. It has the mind, which is an illusion. It has the ego, which is an illusion. It has the subconscious mind, which is an illusion. It's all about understanding the construct. When you fully embrace that you are the only thing that is real in this universe, as all of us begin to discover this, what is everything else? What is everything else outside of us? It's an illusion. The illusion's been created by who? All of us. Collective consciousness. The pure consciousness. The God. So what's the purpose of it? To entertain us. We're creators, so we're constantly creating. And the creations that we experience entertain us. And then we learn from them. So in reality, we set up our own school to educate ourselves and to learn. And the school, where's the information? The information is from the God within us, on how we create our lives and form our destiny. Now, we know that we're not the body. We know that we are the God within the body. We know we're not the character, the personality, the name, the clothes, the belongings. We are the God within. And when we practice in the now, through our breath, easy breath in through the nose out and easy breath out through the mouth, we're in the now. The now is absolutely paramount that we focus only on the now. And the now, when you begin to realize, is that how does the body relax when you're in the now? In the now means that you're only focused on the moment to moment, that's it. So you're focused on one thing, you go to the next. And there's an example of this. When you're walking around, your flat, your apartment, wherever, and sometimes you hit your foot on things. You're walking around like you walked thousands of times before, but for some reason you're hitting things. You ever done that? And you kind of ask yourself, what the heck, what's going on? Why am I hitting things all of a sudden? Hitting with your foot and, banging your elbow and that type of thing. Because you're not focused. You're not in the now. Remember, focusing on the moment to moment to moment, the space between heartbeats, the breath. You focus on the breath, you're in the now. The reason we get so miscombobulated is because we're hardly ever in the now. We're either in the past or the future. That's where we spend most of our time, is the past or the future. You ever check yourself? You might be relaxed, sitting, doing something, reading, and you realize that your mind is off in the future or reminiscing in the past. But the now, see, the ego mind doesn't like the now. It'll do everything it can to keep you out of the now. Trick you with programmed thoughts that aren't yours. And you get to the point where you start identifying this. This is the exciting. You begin to identify it. You go, that's not my thought. And in all these thoughts, this is where we get so stressed and worried and fearful and anxiety, revenge and hatred and anger, because we're spending all of our time in the past and the future, not the now. The now stills the ego, mind, subconscious mind. Why? Because you leave it alone. You don't participate. You leave them alone. You're in the now. You're focused only in the moment and the breath. And you begin to know that, and you begin to understand that in these bodies of us are in, they're lights, and they're colors that they're so vibrant that you'd never see here on this planet. And they're spiritual etherical energy. And they're called chakras. Chakra means wheel. These are wheels of light. And they're etheric spiritual energy. What is the God within us made of? Etherical spiritual energy. Off the charts vibrational frequency-wise. So we flow through them, these wheels of light, from the tailbone to the top of the head. And we know everything there is to know about these bodies. All the organics, all the organs, all the blood vessels, the skin, right down to the quantum quark. Even to the point of knowing that your blood vessels, or your blood cells, right, have their own consciousness. So they flow and decide how to flow. So see, we will evolve to a point of understanding that we are the masters of these bodies. And we can heal these bodies with the power that we are as the gods in a blink of the eye. It's just that very few can focus that long to heal anything. But practicing in the now is absolutely paramount for all of us. It's not easy for a lot of people to be in the now or to stay in the now, because their mind is so out of control and it's shooting off in every direction, and there's all these programmed thoughts, tens of millions of them passing by, and they're not ours. We generate on average 60+ thousand thoughts a day. We do. The thought we generate comes from us, not to us. So when we generate a thought, we send that thought to the universe, and we say, universe, this is exactly what I desire. This is exactly what I want. And then you describe that to the universe, and then you dismiss, you let it go. You don't think about it anymore. You don't worry about it anymore. You just don't even, why? And willing it is really exhaustive. The ego mind doesn't want you to not have that attachment. It doesn't want you to. And you begin to understand more and more and more that you're the God. It helps so much to understand that. It assists us so much in that understanding. You're the God, and you're enjoying life in that body. And you're completely content in deep gratitude exactly the way you are and your life is in this very moment. And see, we're so busy trying to better ourselves when we're already perfect. You see? We're always striving to get somewhere, do this or do that. And then the feeling is fleeting, and then we're back at it again. Many are, chasing pots of gold at the end of rainbows. Many people believe that money is everything they'll ever need. So look at the soul, the God that you are in the body, knowing that you're not the body, but you're in the body. And because you power that body, the body breathes, has the breath, oxygen, sustains the body that holds the kingdom of God, of which each and every one of us are. We are the kingdom of God. We are God. And all of us together make up the one God. So we know that the gods that we are heaven, these bodies. We also know that the body is the earth. We are literally heaven on earth. And we are consciously aware to a certain extent. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Not only that when when we walk this planet, we're creating paradise, literally creating paradise. And not only that, we are shining our light 24/7, 360 degrees, blasting all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, constantly, head to toe, inside and out. And the light is the God that we are. It is pure consciousness. So if you were to take a brief trip outside the atmosphere of this planet, and let's say a couple hundred miles out, right? And you were to look at the planet, you would see that the planet glowed. 8 billion gods glowing with the light of the God that they are in pure, deep, eternal love. But you would also notice that every light around the planet in the universe pales in comparison. Looks like a dim light. And that's why we have this new Earth, because of our vibrational frequencies keep increasing, and we keep ascending, and everything keeps shifting and changing because of the higher frequencies. We also know that there are parts of ourselves that are asleep. They're not separate from us. They're part of the God that we are. And they're going to wake up on their own. You can't wake them up. So when they're in these meditations with us, they don't hear anything. They don't participate. We focus on the parts of ourselves that are awake, that are consciously aware to a certain extent. And that's all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. They come from trillions of universes, trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction. Remember, we're one ocean. We're one golden ocean. Well, that's all the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. This is all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. All the light energy beings with this planet, they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, which we never see. Because with these eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. But there is a small group that we actually, with some of them, we interact pretty frequently. Those are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood. Without the elementals, would we exist on this planet in these bodies? Would these bodies be able to exist? No. Without water, would we exist? Would these bodies exist? No. Without air? No. So we're interacting with at least one elemental every day, if not more, if not all. Mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, the minotaur. Now, the archangels, they vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But we do interact with them. It could just be a random conversation from a stranger that just walks out and it comes in from nowhere. There'll be someone stocking the shelves at a store. All of a sudden, you're talking with them. But you have this feeling in your heart. Sometimes we don't quite get there with it. And other times we do, we say, that was an angel. And all along, when you're interacting with them, you know something is different. It's just inherent from the God within you. Now, they have a message that they deliver and at just an unending amount of ways. And it comes down to it, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And that's bliss. Because you understand, and I don't think a lot of people realize, because again, we take these bodies for granted and this life for granted. But how would you feel if you just thought for a moment that as a God, I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't taste, I don't cry, I don't laugh? You see? You can see why it's so magna glorious that we're in them. That we are life experiencing these bodies. Pure energy. Wow, that's a toughie, isn't it? Because we get so addicted to these physical bodies that we're scared to death to leave them. Because we've been in them and we enjoy them, and we don't even know it most of the time that we enjoy them. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in tens of thousands, tens of millions. Reason is because of their frequency. They can house a large number in a small area. And if you'd like them to, just ask them. And in the tens of thousands or tens of millions, they'll immediately surround you, and you'll immediately feel bliss. They ascended masters, they've mastered physical form. Okay, they've ascended in physical form, mastered physical form, and ascended out of physical form and hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form, are now mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, galactics and celestials, over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And this, we're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution. And our enlightenment, and our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we are all gathered, so to speak, hand in hand, arm in arm, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all love. And we're all God. And we're all one. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator, this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, peace. And we're flooding this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside and out, nonstop. We're blasting everything with our God force, love, light, energy. Total and complete transition. We begin to ascend above the planet, and as we do, we immediately come in full contact with a massive ocean of glitter. Massive. It's everywhere. And it's like, if you've got a visual through your heart mind, you would see it in your heart mind motion picture as a grand finale fireworks display. And all the pulsars in the universe, and all and a laser light show combined, all at once, but 1 trillion times more than what you could possibly imagine. And it's like a ballroom mirrored globe, but 1 trillion times more intense and 1 trillion times larger. And so we're curious, and so we look at the reflective points, and we get real close, and we notice that these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them, and we discover that all of us, consciously aware to a certain extent, are learning, teaching, learning, teaching, learning from each other, no matter how the life is housed, no matter how the God is housed, we're always learning. You can see a spider crawl up out of your drain into your sink. What is it teaching you? I know to some this seems trivial, but it really isn't. Any animal, any life form, what is it teaching you? What are you teaching it? We're either teaching and learning and teaching, both. We don't ever stop. We're immediately met by the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. And eventually, we will be able to heal these bodies at a blink of the eye. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, we are imbued with a white fire armor, unlike any other armor on this planet. Now, this white fire armor cannot be penetrated, cannot be seduced, affected, harmed in any way. So you have no attachments, you have no possessions, you have no lower dark matter, survival matter frequency happenings. Yet. Only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, either consciously or unconsciously, low enough, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, then you'll have possibilities, attachment, possession, all kinds of interesting things. You're immediately met by a double column of light that we created. The first part of that column is purple transmuting flame. That means we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them back to pure consciousness where they are no more. The second part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. Cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were. Sealing the breach in the white fire armor. Restoring our vibrational harmony. The highest of the highest high, the deepest, and the purest of the purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we all created to remind each and every one of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sun set, the sunrise, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains, the soil, trees, the forest, the rainbow, the rain, the animals. We are literally everything, and everything is us. So the next time you see this, you see a mountain range, a beautiful sunset, sunrise, a thunderstorm, starlit night sky, a cloud. It is you. You're the divine. You're the magnificence. You're the magna glorious. It is you. You're the beauty. You always have been. You always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above our body, if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come upon immediately on this massive crystalline light tower, and we created this tower. It's larger than a solar system and beyond. And in the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see a golden white ball of light. And then we see numerous rings of multicolored light surrounding the sphere. We discovered that the golden white ball of light in all of these rings of multicolored light are sending this massive wave. It looks like an electric mist, sparkling, and it absorbs right into our bodies, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discovered that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, and the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And then comes bliss, joy, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, well-being, great abundance, great prosperity. And we discover that it's a reflection of the gods within us, within these bodies. all of it. We look at the top of this crystalline light tower, and we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, flooding, saturating, and bathing us all in the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest, purest, purest eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean, and we also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We all created this sphere moving towards 4 years. It holds almost 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, these meditations don't die out. They don't lose their strength or power. They don't diminish. They do the opposite. They continue to intensify. They continue to expand. And you can feel this in all of these meditations, 7 days a week, hundreds of millions of us gathered from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever in conscious awareness. There are no accidents or coincidences in this world. Nothing is by chance. It is all a reflection, an indication, expression, a manifestation of our body, mind's vibration. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Enlightenment comes like a bolt of lightning, yet can trickle throughout your life like a slow, soothing stream. Investigate today how you casually react to people. Notice if you generally have a protective hardness, lightness, resistance, friendliness, defensiveness, pushiness, or perhaps a needy energy. Watch what typical reaction you have with others and don't change it. Let it change into something else on its own. Be patient with it. Ask it questions that might unravel its past. Don't be attached to what comes about. Simply drop into it profoundly. Choose to be the heart, your heart, of your programming deeply, and let self-realization come out of it. This is the only thing that will stop the habits and is how you, each of us, will evolve quickly in our consciousness. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Friday, November 19, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.